When we talk about a man who truly loves you, the foundation of that love is selflessness and sacrifice. It's not just about the words he says, but the actions he takes, the way he shows up in your life, even when it's not convenient. Love that is true doesn't wait for the perfect moment to act. It moves when needed, responds when called, and stands firm when times get hard. A man who truly loves you will prioritize his well-being, even when it requires him to set aside his own comfort. You see, love is not selfish. It doesn't ask, what's in it for me? It asks, what can I do for you? That's the kind of love that can carry a relationship through the storms. It's the kind of love that shows up when the world feels heavy. And it's the kind of love that makes sacrifices, not for the sake of recognition, but because it comes naturally when the heart is fully invested. This is the kind of man who will put your needs above his convenience. When you're tired, he'll be there to encourage you. When you're struggling, he'll find ways to lighten the load. And when you're questioning your worth, he'll remind you just how valuable you are. True love, the kind that lasts, isn't about what he gets out of loving you. It's about the joy he finds in giving to you. Now, don't misunderstand me. This isn't about perfection. No one gets it right every time, and no man, no matter how loving, will always know the perfect thing to say or do. But it's in those moments of imperfection that his true heart will be revealed. Does he choose to show up even when it's hard? Does he apologize when he's wrong? Does he fight for you, not with you? That's the selfless love I'm talking about. Think about it this way. Love is like a garden. It requires effort, care, and attention. A man who truly loves you will take the time to nurture that garden, even when the soil is dry. Even when the weeds are stubborn, he'll be willing to do the work because he knows the value of what he's tending to. And here's the thing. When someone is willing to sacrifice for you, they aren't just showing love. They're showing commitment. They're saying, I see your worth, and I'm here to protect it, to invest in it, and to build with you. And sacrifice isn't always about grand gestures or life-changing decisions. Sometimes it's the little things that mean the most. It's the way he listens to you when you've had a hard day. It's the way he remembers the details about you, your favorite song, your dreams, your fears. It's the way he makes you feel seen and valued, not just as a partner, but as a person. A man who truly loves you understands that love is not about control, it's about connection. He doesn't need to dominate or prove himself through power. Instead, he proves his love through service. And when I say service, I'm not talking about servitude or losing himself to please you. I'm talking about a mutual exchange where both of you pour into each other, but he takes the lead in showing what love can look like when it's selfless. And here's the beauty of it all. When love is rooted in selflessness, it inspires. It inspires you to love him back with the same level of care, and it inspires others around you to see what true love can look like. Because let me tell you, the world doesn't always know what true love looks like anymore. We've been sold this idea of love that's flashy, temporary, and shallow. But the kind of love I'm describing, the love that sacrifices and serves, it's rare. And when you find it, it's worth holding on to. So as you think about the love you deserve, don't settle for anything less than selflessness. Don't settle for someone who only shows up when it's easy. Look for the man who shows up when it's hard. Look for the man who will stand beside you, not because he has to, but because he wants to. That's the kind of love that lasts. That's the kind of love that transforms. And when you recognize that kind of love, when you embrace it, you'll see the difference it makes, not just in your life, but in the lives of everyone around you. Because love like that, selfless and sacrificial, It doesn't just stay with the two of you. It overflows, it inspires, and it shows the world what's possible when love is real. So don't be afraid to wait for it. Don't be afraid to demand it, because a man who truly loves you won't make you question his love. He'll make you feel it in every word, every action, and every sacrifice. And when you find that kind of love, you'll know it was worth the wait. When it comes to love, we often get caught up in the grand gestures, the big sweeping moments that make it feel like a storybook romance. And don't get me wrong, those moments can be beautiful. But if we're being honest, love is built in the small, quiet spaces of life. It's not the grand gestures that sustain love, it's the consistency. A man who truly loves you will show his love, not in fleeting moments of extravagance, but in the daily, steady rhythm of showing up. Consistency is what builds trust. It's what creates a foundation that you can stand on when life gets shaky. Think about it. Anyone can plan a romantic date or say the right thing in the heat of the moment. But what happens when the excitement wears off? What happens when life gets messy and inconvenient? A man who truly loves you will still be there, doing the small things that matter. He won't just say he loves you, he'll show it by how he treats you day in and day out. It's in the way he remembers the little details about you, the things you've mentioned in passing that he makes a note of because they matter to you. It's in the way he checks on you, not just when it's convenient for him, but when you truly need it. It's in the way he doesn't just make promises, but follows through on them. Consistency isn't glamorous, but it's powerful. It's the proof of love over time, not just in a single moment. Now, let's be clear. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. No one is perfect, and no one will get it right every single time. But a man who truly loves you will strive to be consistent in the things that matter most. He will show up for you emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Even when he stumbles, he'll make the effort to correct his course because he understands that love is an ongoing commitment, not a one-time event. And here's the thing. Consistency reveals character. Anyone can make a grand gesture to impress you, but it takes true character to show up every day, especially when life isn't easy. A man who is consistent is a man who is dependable. He's someone you can rely on, not just when things are good, but when things are tough. And isn't that what we all want? Not just someone who can light up the good times, but someone who can steady us through the storms. Let me tell you, consistency is the language of love that doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops. It's quiet, but it's strong. It's the way he checks in on you when he knows you've had a tough day. It's the way he takes the time to learn your heart, your needs, your dreams, and makes an effort to support them. It's the way he respects your boundaries and honors your trust, not just once, but repeatedly. And don't underestimate how much that consistency affects you. When someone loves you with that kind of steady presence, it changes the way you see yourself. It gives you a sense of safety and belonging. You don't have to guess where you stand with them because they've made it clear through their actions. You don't have to wonder if their love will fade because their consistency reassures you every day that they are in it for the long haul. The truth is, consistency is rare in a world that's so focused on instant gratification. But the beauty of a man who loves you consistently is that his love isn't about the moment, it's about the journey. It's about building something that lasts, something that can stand the test of time. And that kind of love, the kind that shows up every day, is worth more than any grand gesture could ever be. So if you're wondering whether someone truly loves you, don't just look at the big moments, look at the small ones. Look at the way they treat you when no one else is watching. Look at the way they honor their commitments to you even when it's not convenient. Look at the way they make you feel loved, not just on special occasions, but in the everyday moments that matter most. Because at the end of the day, love isn't measured by how loud it is. It's measured by how steady it is. And when you find a man who loves you with that kind of consistency, you'll realize that true love isn't about fireworks. It's about the warm, steady glow that lights your path every single day. And that kind of love, it's the love that lasts. Respect is the cornerstone of any love that's real and lasting. Without it, love is incomplete. A man who truly loves you will respect every part of who you are, your boundaries, your dreams, your voice, and your worth. And that respect isn't something that's occasional or conditional, it's constant. It shows up in the way he speaks to you, the way he listens to you, and the way he treats you when no one else is around. Respect isn't just about avoiding harm. It's about honoring your value every single day. True respect starts with seeing you as an equal. A man who truly loves you won't put himself above you or make you feel small to make himself feel big. He will walk beside you, not in front of you. His love will be a partnership, not a competition. He'll celebrate your successes, not feel threatened by them. And when you share your dreams with him, he won't dismiss them or try to change them to fit his vision. Instead, he'll ask, "How can I support you in achieving this?" Respect also shows up in the way he handles your boundaries. A man who truly loves you will understand that love cannot exist without trust, and trust is built when boundaries are honored. He won't pressure you into situations you're uncomfortable with. He won't dismiss your no as negotiable or treat your feelings as an inconvenience. Instead, he'll listen when you speak, and he'll adapt when necessary because your peace matters to him. He knows that honoring your boundaries is a way of showing love, not just with his words, but with his actions. And let's talk about the way he listens. Listening isn't just about hearing the words you say, it's about understanding the heart behind them. A man who respects you will listen without interrupting, without dismissing, and without turning the conversation back to himself. He'll take the time to understand your perspective, even when it's different from his. He'll recognize that your feelings and opinions are valid, even when he doesn't fully agree. And that kind of listening, that kind of respect, creates a space where you feel safe to be yourself. A man who truly loves you will also respect your individuality. He won't try to mold you into someone you're not. He won't expect you to fit into a version of you that makes him more comfortable. Instead, he'll love you for who you are, exactly as you are. He'll appreciate your quirks, your strengths, and even your flaws because he understands that they make you unique. And in doing so, he'll give you the freedom to grow, to evolve, and to become the best version of yourself without feeling like you have to lose yourself to keep his love. Respect isn't just about how he treats you, it's about how he speaks about you, both when you're present and when you're not. A man who truly loves you will protect your reputation. He won't speak ill of you to others, even in moments of frustration. He'll defend you when others try to tear you down, and he'll speak life into you, affirming your worth and your capabilities, even when you doubt yourself. Let me tell you, respect is the foundation of trust, and without trust, love cannot thrive. A man who respects you will never make you question your place in his life. He won't make you feel like you have to compete for his attention or prove your worth. Instead, he'll show you through his actions that you are valued, that you are cherished, and that you are safe with him. And respect goes both ways. When a man shows you that kind of respect, it inspires you to love him in the same way. It creates a relationship where both of you can thrive, where both of you can feel seen and valued, and where both of you can build something that lasts. So, if you're wondering whether a man truly loves you, look at how he respects you. Look at how he treats your boundaries, your dreams, your voice, and your individuality. Because a man who loves you will always show you respect, not just in the big moments, but in the small, everyday interactions that make up the fabric of your relationship. True love is built on a foundation of respect. It's the glue that holds everything together. Without it, love becomes shaky and uncertain. But with it, love becomes strong, steady, and unshakable. And when you find a man who loves you with that kind of respect, you'll know you found something worth holding on to. Love that is real doesn't try to control you, it protects you. There's a big difference between someone who loves you because they care for your well-being and someone who claims to love you but tries to possess you. A man who truly loves you understands that love isn't about power or control. It's about creating a safe space for you to grow, to thrive, and to be your full, authentic self. When love protects, it doesn't put limits on you. It doesn't try to cage you or make you feel small so someone else can feel secure. Instead, it allows you the freedom to be who you are. A man who truly loves you will be your protector, not your captor. He will look out for you, not because he doesn't trust you, but because he values you. He will make sure you're safe, physically and emotionally, without making you feel like you owe him for it. Protection comes in many forms, and sometimes it's as simple as being emotionally available. When you're carrying the weight of the world, he'll be the one who says, I've got you. When you feel vulnerable, he'll remind you that it's okay to lean on him. And when life gets overwhelming, he'll be the steady presence that reassures you everything will be okay. He'll never make you feel weak for needing support because he knows that strength isn't about independence. It's about partnership. At the same time, protection doesn't mean he tries to fight your battles for you. A man who loves you will stand beside you, not in front of you, because he knows you're capable. He won't undermine your strength by trying to take over, but he'll make it clear that if you need him, he's there. He'll empower you to fight for yourself while letting you know that you're never alone in the fight. Now, let's be clear. Protection that comes from love doesn't manipulate. It doesn't say, I'm doing this for your own good when it's really about control. It doesn't guilt you into making choices you're uncomfortable with, and it doesn't put conditions on the love being given. True love respects your autonomy while still offering a shield when needed. It gives without strings attached and protects without stifling. A man who truly loves you also protects your heart. He's careful with his words because he knows the power they hold. He doesn't use them to tear you down or make you feel less than. Instead, he uses them to uplift you, to reassure you, and to remind you of your worth. He doesn't play games or keep you guessing about his feelings. He's honest, he's transparent, and he's intentional about making you feel secure in the relationship. And this kind of protection isn't just about you. It's also about the love you share. A man who truly loves you will protect the relationship itself. He won't let outside influences, distractions, or temptations come between the two of you. He'll be intentional about guarding what you've built together, knowing that real love is worth the effort it takes to preserve. There's a quiet strength in love that protects. It's not loud or boastful. It doesn't need to announce itself. But you'll feel it in the way he consistently shows up for you. You'll see it in the way he puts your well-being above his pride, and you'll know it in the way he creates an environment where you can feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. So when you think about the kind of love you deserve, remember this: love that protects doesn't confine you, it sets you free. It doesn't make you feel small, it makes you feel secure. It doesn't control you, it empowers you. And when you find a man who loves you like that, you'll realize that true protection is one of the deepest expressions of love there is. Sometimes love is revealed in the moments when you step back and let go. When you create space, you allow a man to show you where his heart truly stands. A man who truly loves you won't let pride, distance, or time keep him away. When he recognizes your worth, he'll come running, not out of desperation, but because he understands what he could never afford to lose. You see, love is not about chasing someone to make them stay. True love is about mutual effort and recognition. When you give someone the freedom to choose, their actions will tell you everything you need to know. A man who truly loves you won't take your back. That's the kind of love that values connection over convenience and commitment over ego. And here's the truth: your worth doesn't decrease when someone doesn't see it right away. A man who genuinely loves you will realize, even in the face of distance, that you are irreplaceable. And when he does, his actions will speak louder than any words ever could. The ones who are meant for you will come back for you, not because they see clearly what they stand to lose. True love doesn't need to be forced. It will always find its way back to what it cherishes most. Love that lasts is love that's proven over time. Words can be beautiful and promises can sound sweet, but a man who truly loves you will let his actions confirm what his heart feels. He doesn't just say he loves you, he lives it. His love shows up in the way he prioritizes you, honors you, and makes space for you in his life. Not just occasionally, but consistently. You'll see it in the way he follows through on his commitments, no matter how small. If he says he'll be there, he shows up. If he promises to support you, he doesn't just stand on the sidelines, he steps in when you need him. A man who truly loves you doesn't rely on empty gestures or fleeting words to prove his love. He lets his actions paint the picture, making it clear that his love is steady, reliable, and true. Because at the end of the day, love is not just something you hear, it's something you feel through the way someone treats you, respects you, and values you. A man who truly loves you won't make you question his love. He'll make sure you feel it in every part of your life. True love is shown, not just spoken.